Hey guys, what's going on? Thank you guys for being here. My name is Jai Gobind and this is your channel for grace. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everyone that's been here since I started. Thank you for also giving this video a thumbs up, and thank you so much for sharing it out with your friends. I know that the message that I bring to the table, to the world, is a profound message of spiritual evolution, and that is the focus of this channel. And so everything that I do is helping, the goal is that it will help people to step into their purpose, higher vibration, and ascend. So today we are going to be talking about the full moon in Pisces, which is happening this weekend, Friday into Saturday. And it is basically such a powerful full moon. You have no idea how amazing it is. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover the astrology for the full moon. And this is something that I do. Thank you guys for the comments. I know you guys really like that intro video. I love it too. So every new moon and full moon on this channel, I will go live a few days before the moon happens and tell you all about the astrology. And then on the actual day of the new moon or the full moon, I will be doing an actual new moon or full moon ceremony. Someone go back to the other chat and let everybody know that we're over here now. Oh my goodness, that was crazy. So I'm trying this new thing. YouTube has this new thing where you can go live and like do the premiere of the video or something, but then you have to have the right stream key and all of that stuff, and it gets a little bit complicated. And when I hit go live, like nothing was happening. So I think there might have been something wrong with the whole live streaming on YouTube, because when I do it this way, which is it doesn't even matter to explain it, but when I do it this way, it actually works. So hopefully everybody comes in here, because I don't think they're actually coming in, which is really funny. But what I can do is actually go to the other, and let me know, you guys, if you can hear me okay, and if you can see me okay. Let's see. I'm just telling everybody. Please hop over to it. This is really cracking me up. Okay, now back to the actual chat. Some of you guys must have got, you know, the hey William, how's it going? Let me just go like say hi to everybody in the chat. So Sarah, how's it going? Welcome in. Nancy, welcome in. I'm doing great. Lemonidic Michelle, welcome in. Dave, welcome in. Diana, how's it going? Let's see. Baco's mom, welcome in. William, Christine, Master Integrity, cool. Yeah, no, I haven't started yet, pretty much. Is my feed moving slow? Yeah, you guys are hilarious. You're still over there and the other one, like talking, hashing it out while I'm over here live. So, actually there might be a way to actually, it looks like my thing is healthy, so. Yes, here I am. Here I am. Hey Sarah, hey Darcy, you guys are cracking me up. Okay, so I was just talking about what was going on with the video, and I've tried to do it a new way, but obviously it wasn't working. So now I am doing it this way, which is the normal way that I do it, but it doesn't allow you guys to get like a preview of it's coming. So I just want to make sure that everybody that is over there in the other video comes in, gets their butt in here. Will you guys go, you know, if you can, go to the other video and make sure everybody knows they're in here? Because, oh my Lord. Did you see 999? Actually didn't see that. Hey, Brittany, how's it going? But yeah, today is September 9th of 2019. That's a lot of nines, and we're going live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know. And the number 9, if we want to talk a little about numerology, is basically the number of the subtle body. And the subtle body is underneath your feet. It's kind of like this little bubble of energy that, hey, Joan, that basically holds your soul once you basically die in the physical body. Your soul and your subtle body travel together always. So your subtle body has always been with you. So it actually contains all the information of the Akashic records of all of your past lives that you've had. Hey, Valerie. And because of that, people in India, this is a really cool example of this. When they see a teacher, they will kind of bow to the teacher and they will like touch the teacher's feet or kiss the teacher's feet. Hey, Betsy. And there's a lot of focus on like the feet and like, what is that all about, right? Or like even with Jesus, like they would wash their feet. I know those glasses though. So they would wash like the teacher's feet or, So anyways, the whole thing about that is because they want to touch the teacher's Akashic records. Like I want that information. So it's a little bit of a wanting to connect to the deep wisdom of a master or a teacher. So the Akashic records is found literally. There's a connection to it, a little pathway to it in your subtle body, which is underneath your feet. So 999, that's today. That's the significance of today. Hey, Sarah, how's it going? Master Integrity, welcome in. Tia, welcome in. So, okay, let's get on topic now, because that was like really a little bit stressful to do that, for YouTube to do that. But what we're going to talk about today is the astrology of the full moon in Pisces. Before I actually show you the chart, which I am going to do, I'm going to tell you just in general what full moons are and what is the power, what power the full moon brings to us, so that we can use it in our everyday life. And the reason I do these videos, the astrology information, before the actual full moon or before the actual new moon, is because, thanks Darcy, hey Arthi and Peter, because you have time to get ready for when it arrives. But most of us, I know I do, on a regular basis, when there's major astrological events, for some reason, what ends up happening with me is that I actually feel the effects of some astrological event that's coming before it actually comes. So if a full moon's coming, I will feel the intensity of it before it actually hits. And I know there's a lot of you that do so as well. We're a community with most likely a lot of empathic people. You're not attracted to something unless you're like meant to be there. You're not attracted to watch a YouTube channel or to follow someone unless you are really like meant to be there. And what I mean by that is that if you find yourself here right now watching this video, whether you're here live or whether you are watching the replay of the video, somebody shared it with you, or you found it somewhere randomly on YouTube. I've had people that have found me randomly on YouTube that I have a major, like, very powerful spiritual connection with. It happened with one friend, and there was no doubt in my mind, and it felt very right that there was a reason for us meeting, and there was a reason that she found me actually on YouTube. So that's just one example. So if you're here, please trust your intuition that you're meant to be here and that you're here for a reason, and there is a message for you here in this video. That is the power of all of this. That is like if I can teach one thing, if I can leave anyone with one thing, it would be that your intuition will guide you to exactly where you need to go. All you have to do is learn how to actually listen. And speaking of intuition, Jason and I are going to be running a 6-week course program called Finding the Magic Playground, where we will teach you all of the tools that you need to find the magic playground, to step into a space of creativity and awakening to a new way of living life on an everyday basis. And we've been, formulating exactly what that's going to look like. But in a general sense, it's going to be basically a different version, because it's the different energy between me and Jason, but it'll be a different version of kind of like the Earth School that I just ran with my partner Dawn. It'll be a lot more focused on how to really become master manifestors and how to bring that into your three-dimensional reality. So I won't give too many details yet, but just know that that's coming up. It's very exciting, and I will be doing, if you guys do sign up, I will be looking at your astrology chart and giving you information about what your life purpose or what that path kind of looks like for you. So you'll get that if you join the class. Anyways, let's get into the astrology, yeah? But the full moon, the power of the full moon is that full moons they intensify things emotionally, spiritually. Like, we literally feel it. It's very visceral. Full moons are a very kind of visceral experience. The moon, is all about our emotions. And when the moon is full, we might feel very intensely what is going on in the alignment of the planets and the stars. So full moons are also an opportunity for us to see how the intentions that we set during the last new moon are actually manifesting in our reality now. And full moons can also be, new and full moons can be portals to stepping forward in your life towards what I like to call ascension. So that's how, full moons work, and that's why they're so powerful. The moon is actually what we call an illuminary. So it illuminates us. It shines a light on us. And you can see that by the fact that it's the sun and the moon are the both illuminaries in astrology. The sun obviously shines lights on us, and very, very brightly shines light on us, and kind of shows us who we are and asks us to step a little bit, closer to our soul, to our, a very deep sense of knowing. And then the moon is an illuminary because it literally the sun shines the light at the moon, just like this full moon right here. The sun shines the light, and the moon, during a full moon, it is fully lit by the light of the sun, and that light reflects onto us. If you think about this stuff and you think about the alignment, the exact alignment, of all these planetary things, there's no way that there's not a powerful message here. There's a powerful message here. So during the full moon, it just so happens, or does it, right, that the sun shines directly and the whole moon is lit up, and we can literally see the whole thing. And it's literally reflecting the light of the sun, that masculine energy, that also creative life force. So it is a little bit of sacred divine, feminine, but that light of the sun literally shines towards the moon, and the moon kind of takes it. And because the moon is all about our emotions, the moon takes it and it kind of processes it, and it goes deeper. It goes into the subconscious realm of emotions, and it brings it right to us. And it says, hey, this is something that you need to pay attention to. And everyone is affected by the moon. There's not a single person on this planet that is not affected by the moon. The reason you see certain people that say, well, the full moon makes me go crazy. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you get people that go, I don't know what people are talking about. I don't feel anything when the new moon or the full moon comes. The reason for that is because of each individual's sensitivity to the event. So for some of us, we're a lot more sensitive to these energies. And for some of us, we're a lot less sensitive to these energies. But we are all affected. So that is why these two specific moments of the moon, the new moon and the full moon, are the most important, because they are the intention that you want, and then the manifestation of the intention. And if you live your life according to the cycles of the moon and the seasons, so the equinoxes and the solstices, if you live your life according to those cycles, you will actually be more connected to your true self, believe it or not, because you will be paying attention to the messages that tell you exactly where you need to go. Every single one of us was born with a specific alignment. This is our natal chart. It's in our natal chart. And that marks the beginning of your journey. That natal chart is the beginning of your journey. It's basically the Fool. It's the Fool sitting there like excited to like live life and go on this epic journey. And from that moment, that exact moment that you're born, the story begins to unfold. And the planets begin to play their roles, and the archetypes start to come alive in your life. And then it's up to you, because you have free will, to decide where you want to take your life. There is a higher purpose for all of us, and it's found in Chiron. And I can tell you what that is, what that looks like for you if I look at your natal chart. But we all have a purpose. That's the point of what I'm saying. We have a purpose, and if we begin to understand how astrology has the possibility of opening up doors for us to ascend, to become masters of our reality, to become masters of the manifestation that we want in our life. We're always manifesting, but to become a master manifester means that you understand and you're aware of the fact that you are manifesting all the time, and you shift your focus to exactly what you want to manifest instead of all the negative shit. That at some point in our lives, that's all we do, until we just keep, going down that cycle, that wheel of karma. And all of a sudden one day we step out of it and go, hey, I don't actually have to be in that cycle of karma. I don't actually have to be in that wheel of karma. I can actually be over here. And it's actually much more awesome over here. So I'm setting this up, you guys, because I want you to understand the power of astrology to bring us to illuminate us, and the power of the full moon to show us a way, to literally shine a light on our path during the darkest moments of our life, because the moon is full in the darkness. It's full at night. That's when you can see it. And when the moon is full, you can see the light. So the moon shines a light through your darkest hours. Hey, Mystery Scope. So let us switch screens. Thank you for your patience. That was, I don't know where that came from, but apparently it had to come out of my mouth, and I'm not looking at the chat, and I apologize for that. But if I don't get through this, we'll be here all night. So we're going to do this, and then we're going to connect the iPad. I do this mirroring thing where you can see my iPad. On the screen, which is really awesome. There we go. Okay. Here we go. The official reading of the full moon. So I'm going to go through each. See, here's how I do it. I'm literally showing you how I do it when I look at a chart. I start with one thing at a time. And I go, what does that mean? What does that mean? How does that connect to this thing over here? How do those two planets, what kind of conversation are those two planets having with this planet over here? And those are called aspects. So I'm going to paint you a story with this. So here we go. The full moon is going to be in Pisces on the 13th into the 14th, in late in the evening. So for some of us, especially if you live on the other side of the world, it'll be already the 14th when the moon is actually full. But like I said, you can feel it for even days up to it and days after it. The moon is going to be in Pisces. You can see it right here. It's going to be in Pisces at 21 degrees, opposing the sun at 21 degrees of Virgo. And that's how you know it's a full moon, because the sun and the moon are opposing and they're at the exact same degrees. When the moon is in Pisces, Pisces is a water sign. There's a sensitivity that comes with this energy. There's a really loving and caring energy. It's compassionate. It's someone who wants to save the world. Did you guys know that Jesus was actually a Pisces? When you are affected by the moon in Pisces, but when it's full, it's much stronger of an effect. You're emotionally sensitive, and you're actually sensitive to getting hurt. It's almost like you're that sensitive where it's really easy to hurt your feelings. However, you can also tap into this powerful, exceptionally creative energy that is Pisces. Because at the same time that, it's important to protect yourself from negative energies, it's also important for you to know when to really dig deep and dive full into what this moon has to show you. The sun being in Virgo is a very different energy. These are opposites, right? The Pisces is very, deep and loving and watery, and Virgo is earth. It's very analytical, almost like a perfectionist energy who wants to do things right. Virgo on the outside seems like an insensitive energy, but actually on the inside, Virgos are actually very much sensitive, and they can also get their feelings hurt. Also, these two signs, Pisces and Virgo, are mutable energies, which is good because this means that the energy of the full moon is actually a flexible energy, which will be allowed to find where we are on the spectrum. We're not stuck to a certain thing. There's a flexibility to this energy that makes it really powerful. And like I said, this is water energy opposing earth energy. Virgo also rules the 6th house. In this chart, the 6th house is right here. And that's not too relevant to anybody specifically, but in general, Virgo rules the 6th house. And the 6th house can be the house of work, but it is more importantly the house of be here now. Be in the present moment. And Pisces rules the 12th house, which is the house of bliss. It's the house of the subconscious mind and your intuition. And check this out. These houses oppose each other. Coincidence? I think not. I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to start talking about the moon and Neptune, and you'll slowly start to see how this story begins to unfold. And let me know if you're following along, okay? So, the moon is also pretty much conjunct Neptune, which is also in Pisces, okay? And there's a lot, so I'm just going to take it step by step. Neptune is at home in Pisces. This means that we have both the moon and Neptune in a sign that they actually really like to be in. Neptune is also the ruler of the 12th house. So we've got, basically, if we look at all this down here, we've got all this Virgo energy with, the sun and Mars and Venus and Mercury opposing this Moon and Neptune energy in Pisces. So you're talking about Virgo. That's a very earthy energy. It's grounding. And then you go to the other side of the spectrum and you've got this divine connection. It's literally the root chakra connecting the crown chakra, which is the earth, and then infinite knowledge, infinite reality. So the earth with the divine, what grounds you in relationships when it comes to Venus and Mars, in the mind when it comes to Mercury, in yourself when it comes to the sun, to this earthly plane, and this planet and physical time-space reality connecting you to the heavens. The 12th house of activation, where you step into the unknown, into the subconscious, into the world beyond this world. And when you talk about it in a dimensional way, you literally talk about the first through the fourth dimensions here. So I'm going to go real quick through the dimensions, so you just very quickly, so you can understand what I'm talking about. The first dimension is the iron core crystal at the center of the earth. The second dimension is like on the surface of the earth. It's like the plants. The third dimension is where we're at, and we are actually the keepers of the third dimension. I wrote a whole song about it, which I might share with you guys. I actually did share it on Instagram. The fourth dimension is like the collective mind. It's actually also where the Akashic records are found. And it's also the collective feelings of all of us together. I know it's a lot to absorb, so you might have to watch this video a few times. The keepers of the fourth dimension are the Anunnaki, just as a cool little side fact. But the fourth dimension is basically where we connect to everyone on the planet right now that's in the third dimension. It's and in higher dimensions as well, in a feeling way. It's paying attention to our feelings. So you've got this dynamic going on between the first, second, third, and fourth dimensions, which is where we're grounded, right? Because the iron core crystal and the center of the earth is what grounds us. It's the most sacred space that we have here on earth, is to connect with that iron core crystal. And why do you think when you do a shamanic journey or any kind of, meditation or yogic practice, the first thing you do is like you ground yourself into the earth? Because that is where our sacred reality comes from. It holds us together. It's very, very dense. I think it's 40 hertz that it vibrates at. But anyways, that's basically, this, what's going on just when you look at this, the moon and Neptune, and then this Virgo energy. Now, the fifth dimension is the heart chakra, or the heart resonance. And the Pleiades are the keepers of the fifth dimension. The sixth dimension is sacred geometry. The seventh dimension is sound vibration. The eighth dimension is light frequency, and the ninth dimension is the Milky Way black hole. Basically, it's the center of the galaxy. We are able on this planet to literally integrate these 9 dimensions into the 3-dimensional reality. We actually have to be in a body to integrate the 4 dimensions. Jesus, hey Karina, Jesus was a 9th dimensional being who was also Pleiadian, because he came to show us how to do this, literally. He did it. And we are to learn from him how to do it. But he came to show us that it's possible. So that's why there's such a powerful, significance to this full moon that's happening on Friday. Let's move on to another aspect. Let's talk about the moon squaring Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of expansion. When the moon squares Jupiter, it's about expanding your feelings. Not only is it a full moon, it is also squaring Jupiter, which means you cannot hide how you feel. There's nothing subtle about your emotional expression with this aspect. The negative side of this, so the things to watch out for, is that you need to be, you can be oversympathetic and like over generous. So you have to make sure that what you do with your life, with your actions, aren't putting you in a situation where you are getting played or tricked or used, used and abused for your generosity, because you're going to want to be like, yes, like super expressive. That's why it's so important to be in a higher vibrational state during this full moon, because we're going to be like putting it out there. So if people are in a negative space, I mean, imagine what the world would look like if we were all in a negative space during this alignment. Like, oh my God. So this is big feelings. This is expanded feelings. Now, the moon is also semi-squaring Uranus over here in Taurus. What this alignment is saying is that life is in perpetual motion, which means things are going, they're flowing, they're moving. This is not static energy. That's why I call it the portal to complete like spiritual ascension and spiritual integration, because this is a sort of like an energy, a cycle that is moving. So the door will open and you'll get an opportunity to step through, and then you're in it and you're going to keep going forward from there. We will feel like there's constant change. Like we will feel like we actually need a constant supply of change, stimulation, and excitement. We're gonna want it. We're gonna desire it. And because Uranus is in Taurus, this is a desire to literally bring things into real-time space reality, into the physical, into the third dimension. Because Taurus is the earth, and it is like the things that you can touch. The five senses you can see it, you can touch it, you can smell it, you can hear it, like that. This is bringing things into real time space reality. We might also feel really restless and kind of high strung during this full moon, which is an energy that can make it difficult for us to focus on one major, interest at a time. So what I would recommend is you search for your one true passion, because this is a time of big change. The other alignment that is happening is with Pluto. The moon is sextiling Pluto over here. So when this alignment is here, we have a natural talent for psychology and also understanding and also underlying emotional strength that encourages others to lean on us. This is a deeper understanding of how we function in the world. So can you see how all of this is adding up? This is personal power combined with intuition and like naturally being able to understand people. It's a leadership quality. It's part of like what is being activated in us. And it's also an alignment that says anything that you commit your passion to and determination succeeds. People that have Pluto in their, I think, 8th house, like Oprah Winfrey has Pluto in her 8th house. Those are like rich AF people. That's big money. Pluto in the 8th house, big money. But you gotta, take the right steps to make it happen. But that's why Pluto is like, it can really be about getting there. It's just about how you choose to engage with it. The North Node is also trining the moon. North Node is right here. And we know that the North Node is about purpose. And right now, we're all being asked to connect to our emotions. Not only that, this trine is important because the North Node is in Cancer and the moon is ruled by Cancer. So Cancer is part of this equation for the moon, which makes it so powerful. Our imagination is going to be enhanced on this day. Your mind is going to feel really stable and really strong with accurate psychic sensitivities and reliable impressions. So this means your intuition will be like on point. That's why we want to be in the right space. When this comes, that's why this is a portal. When this alignment comes, we're going to want to be freaking ready, right? Like, don't you want to be ready for this? This is an alignment between your emotions and your life path, the moon and the North Node. So the more that you are in touch with your emotional and imaginative self, moon and Neptune in freaking Pisces, the more you can grow as an individual and step into purpose, North Node. This is, interestingly enough, the moon is also sextiling the South Node. These are beautiful alignments, you guys. This is like sextiles and trines and, the semi-square is not as strong, but this is like positive energy. Trines and sextiles are very positive energy. They're easy transits. It's almost like they bring in the magic and things feel a little bit easier. And so this moon sextile, the South Node, does bring in a little bit of, there's still some energy pulling us back to resolve all karmic emotional wounds. So if you haven't, done, major work in this sense, this is going to be inviting you to do that as well. Let's talk about this freaking T-square, okay? Last new moon, we had a T-square with, it was Jupiter, Neptune, and Venus. Literally, in the last new moon had a T-square. T-squares are, especially, this is a T-square in immutable signs. It brings flexibility in this realm, but it also encourages avoidance behavior. That's what needs to be resolved. But the T-square is between Jupiter, who's right here, the moon and Neptune, who are right here, and Sun and Mars right here. So what does this mean? A T-square is, there's two squares that point to one planet, Jupiter, and an opposition. And it's an exact, it's like, you can divide it in half like this, and it makes 90 degrees right here. Okay. That's why it's like a very specific alignment. But when Jupiter squares, or when Jupiter's right here, squares Neptune, we'll talk about each little piece of this separately. When Jupiter squares Neptune, it can be faith, trust, and reality are your obstacles, because we tend to put our faith in the wrong things and the wrong people. However, yeah, right, it looks like that. However, yes, exactly, Jason. However, that's sort of like the negative expression of it. When you think about what can positively come out of this alignment, you have expansion and dreams. Hello. Right? Let's talk about Mars and Jupiter. This is an enthusiasm and optimism that is like really big. So enthusiasm and optimism end up being your strengths, but they can also be your weaknesses, because you can jump into situations too quickly. So you have to learn to think and plan before you act with Mars square Jupiter. Now, Mars oppose Neptune You live and act on your spiritual beliefs, and you may have a strong sixth sense because of the Pisces energy and Neptune. So this is the desire to act, but in subtle ways. And when the moon opposes Mars, you can be temperamental and emotional and have emotional outbursts and kind of internalize anger, but the positive expression of it is a passion for life. The divine into the earthly. A passion that comes from above that manifests, that you want to create in your life. Mars, action. And this is love and personal and professional success. This T-square, you guys, is basically where the power of this moon lies. Everything that I showed you basically culminates at this moment with this T-square. And I'm going to tell you why. And I think I'm going to switch to just me on the screen, because for the rest of it, I'm just going to talk to you guys. Okay? You kind of got you got the gist of it when it comes to the actual chart, which I love because I love being able to show it to you guys. This is my notebook. I have all these notes that I went through this chart like a while ago while I was in Portland, and it blew my mind, and I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to share this to everyone. I know, this is fucking amazing. This is amazing. Yeah, mind-blowing, of course. So let's talk about just that one T-square. Jupiter, the moon and Neptune, and Mars and the sun. Okay? Jupiter, well, let's talk about Mars and the sun first, okay? So Mars and the sun are in Virgo. Virgo rules the sixth house of being in the present moment, being here now, and also work. It also affects us at the third dimension, which means right here in this time-space reality. This is the drive that we need to manifest things right here in front of us, that we can touch, see, taste, smell. This is about getting organized in this realm of manifesting, bringing it to form. This is the first, the second, and the third dimension. This is you. This is your body. This is your solar plexus and root and second chakra, because those are pretty much connected to the first three dimensions. So you got this over here, right? Or how we had it over here. Okay, then you go to the other side, Moon and Neptune, and you've got Pisces energy, ruler of the 12th house, which is in opposition. And the houses are their polarities, or in essence, dualities, that when they become polarized, which means when you integrate them both, you learn from one of the first 6 houses how to ascend to a deeper understanding into the last 7 through 12 houses. These are how the polarities work. So this is a major polarity. This is us learning to be here now, and then connecting to the divine, receiving the energy from the divine. 6th house, 12th house. So now we're bringing in this like, oh my God, we are opening up. Our crown chakra is literally opening up, because Pisces is intuitions, feelings. It's that reaching that moment of bliss, because the 6th house integrates into the 12th house of bliss. You bring the bliss into the here and now. You heal the subconscious. You step into the unknown despite fear. And this is, like I said, the 12th house. It is very heightened emotion, very powerful emotion. This is our inner world. This is the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th dimensions, which is the throat, the third eye, and your heart. So heart, throat, third eye. This is about fulfillment and stepping into our life purpose, fulfilling our dreams, okay? That's just the 2 things. So what's the big deal? Okay, that's cool. But hey, here's Jupiter. Hello. The T-square is like the resolution. This is what adds to it is Jupiter in freaking Sagittarius. It's home sign of Sagittarius. And Jupiter is the ruler of the 9th house of what? Spiritual integration. This is fire and expansion. Fire, creative fire that expands, that like wakes it up and says, let's freaking do this now. This is the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th dimensions. The crown chakra and expanded outward. I mean, this is just too much. This is the perfect equation for like spiritual ascension, for integrating the 9 dimensions into this 3rd dimensional reality. The last new moon was reaching for divinity. Remember, I called it reaching for divinity and setting major higher frequency intention. And then the full moon now is aligning with your life path. We're literally integrating the 9 dimensions. You're stepping into complete alignment with your life path, complete alignment with spirit, complete spiritual alignment, moving into bliss. Thank you, Patricia. Expanding into higher dimensions. This is what, like I said, Jesus taught us. He taught us this. He was 9th dimension. He's like, hey guys, like, this is possible. You're supposed to be able to do this. Here's how you do it. And what did we do? Well, let's not talk about that. But 2,000 years later, boom, we're switching from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius. And the exact date is December 21st of 2020. Jupiter and Saturn move into Aquarius, conjunct at 0 degrees Aquarius, trining the Pleiadian star system. Like, we're living in epic times, you guys. This is the beginning of a very powerful spiritual phase. And for those of us that are actually doing the work, this is one of many, many initiations and portals into aligned living, spiritual alignment, integration of the 9 dimensions into the 3D. The reason that we're feeling all this energy right now is because there's an acceleration happening. And the acceleration is like, hey, wake up, wake up, wake up. People are literally walking around in their lives, and all of a sudden one day they're like, what the hell is going on? It's almost like you have amnesia and you're walking around in the world and you're living this life and you're like, the day to day, let's get up, let's go to work, let's make some money, let's come home and pay some bills, let's go out to dinner with some friends, let's get married, let's have children, let's go watch a movie at the theater, let's have a weekend, let's get back to work on Monday. And it's like all of a sudden, boom, you're like, where the hell am I? What am I doing here? Wait, Atlantis, the Syrian star system, the Pleiades, dimensions, like stuff starts coming to you, okay? Like this is how intuition works. It starts literally being like, whoosh, and it's accelerated. So now we're having to go to work. But then when we're done working, like, let's read a million books about all of this epic information that I can't get enough of because I need to know the truth, because I know that I'm not living the truth, that someone was lying to me this whole time. And I know there's way more to this than this freaking body. There's no way, So it's like being in a coma and living in a dream, in an illusion, 7 of Cups, and then waking up to like all this truth. And there's not that much time to process. And that's why I think a lot of us are feeling so intense. And it's like, oh, we feel like we're being ripped apart and our hearts are opening and we're feeling so intensely. And we're like, some people are losing it. So that's why you got to ground, you got to ground, you got to ground to that center of the earth, that dense energy that will just, it will just hold you. It will literally hold you. With this Pluto and Saturn conjunction that's happening in January and Uranus in Taurus, we're getting ready to start to build a new world. And this moon, just like all of the eclipses that have been happening, that have been so intense, that we've been aware of, we've been consciously aware of this stuff, you guys. Why do you think you're getting so into this stuff? Why do you think you're like sitting here like watching this video with your eyes big? Like, because it's like the truth is coming out. And we've been feeling it and we've been aware of it. That's why astrology can help guide us in the right direction and also give us hope. I mean, you think of the star card. The star is your hopes and dreams. It's also your fears, but you know, it's like the stars. You look up at the stars and you're like, you make wishes upon stars. Right? It is a beautiful truth. So all of these eclipses, this moon is literally, we've been getting prepared to integrate 9 dimensions into our bodies. I'm just going to keep saying that over and over. We've literally, if you haven't listened to the Pleiadian Agenda, make sure you get it on Audible. And also another book called Alchemy of 9 Dimensions. We've been finally, since December 21st, 2012, that was the day that we were granted galactic citizenship. Now I sound like a loony, like I'm in a loony bin. Okay? It's time to get ready to live up to our full potential. That's it. That's it. You might have to watch this video like 20 times. Sorry. I can't help myself. It all speaks. It comes out. It shows me. That's how it's coming out. And the cool thing about astrology is that each individual, just like tarot, each individual reader will look at the astrological chart and interpret it. And each different reader sees something special, you know, and that's what's coming to me. This is what's coming to me. And I hope that it resonates with you guys too, because this stuff just makes me so happy. Yeah, it sounds crazy to sleepyheads. Yes, exactly. The Queen has spoken. Queen G. I'm just kidding. You know, I realized something really epic. My name, Jai Gobind, in case you guys didn't know, Jai means victory, and Gobind means the sustaining life force of the universe. And my whole thing here, what I do, is I try to help people align with that sustaining life force, which is the 5 platonic solids, sacred geometry. That's what sustains life in the 6th dimension. Astrology is a 6-dimensional practice because it uses the sacred geometry, the alignment of the stars and the planets, and shows us through the archetypes how those things can manifest and how they affect us in our 3-dimensional life. And I finally feel like I've fully started walking on a path towards like some major life purpose, which is to help people have victory in their lives, to feel the power of this sustaining life force of the universe. And it is through astrology that I can see it, how the magic works. I don't really have anything else to say. I think that's it. I would go back and look at the chat. Maybe I can do that a little bit. But I feel like if you have questions, feel free to ask them. Spending all my time on YouTube with Jai and Jason. I love that. We are remembering who we are. We're definitely remembering who we are. I love it. I freaking love it. Thanks, Dave. Yes. So, if another thing I'm getting ready to do is designing what kind of natal chart readings I'm going to do. But I know for sure that the focus is on life purpose, on what it is. Because to me, there's always a bigger picture. There's always something that we need to look at from up here. We're in it, and we're going through life every day being in it, but we need to look at it from out here, because looking at it from out here gives us that sense of safety, security. In the craziness of the 3D, we connect with that sense of everything is perfect just the way it is, and we feel that beautiful energy, that sustaining energy, and we finally feel at home. And when that happens, that's when you open your heart to try to step into life purpose. So to me, looking at your astrology chart is awesome. Looking at the transits, it's awesome. Seeing how they affect you on a day-to-day basis, that's important to know those things. It's important to know, how the moon affects us and all of that. But to me, what's really my passion in astrology is finding out, what is it that you meant here, you came here to do? What is it that you were meant to do? What is that? You can actually see that in your chart, in your natal chart. And it has to do with Chiron, who is the rainbow bridge between the personal planets and the outer planets. So just thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please share it out, because I really think that people need to know this information, and it's going to help inspire a lot of people. And that's my dream. Like, that's what I'm here for. I want to inspire you to want to reach for something higher, for something better, to be happy, to be joyful, to have fun in your life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll let you guys go with that. There's a lot of fun stuff coming up. Remember also, everything in my Etsy shop right now is at 50% off. I've got some malas and knotted necklaces and some mini malas as well. Go check those out. And I'll be live again on Friday for our full moon ceremony. Full moon ceremony. You're welcome. You're welcome, everyone. Sat Nam. See you guys Friday.